Today I'm just gonna talk about an email I received in our channel where was one of the viewer like requested or suggested a talk about revolution. And today I'm just gonna point some of my view or my thoughts about revolution. I think revolution means a lot of things, but more important things means seeking for justice, for equality, for everyone, and respect for everyone. But revolution, I think, is against the capitalism, against the system that's been hurting our society for a long time. In this case, revolution should be our system of living to seek for justice, for equal opportunities to become someone. In order the different time of this human history that revolution has come, in those centuries ago, just like the 13 colonies of the USA, the United States, when they came here, they were brought here to work under the king of the United Kingdom or the United Kingdom of Spanish, which is still now the Queen Elizabeth and Queen Juan Carlos in Spain. They still with their system. But those colonists, they decided not to continue the same system that they were being brought to this continent and work for the Queen. That's why the revolutions came, independencies themselves against those queens, and they implemented a system of living which is known now as the United States, with their different system of living and different culture. As you see in our currency, dollar, you can see different pictures of leaders that have been working to create a country. George Washington, the most known person in this continent, and this Abraham Lincoln too, they became president during the 16th and 17th centuries. And before them, there was other leaders. They were the same ideas against the king. There were the revolutions. And different in this continent, there has been a lot of movement of revolutions. Just the Mexican revolutions led by Emiliano Zapata with the peasants. And there's a revolution that we well know most recently, the 19th century, a revolution led by a revolutionary, Fidel Castro, and the people of Cuba. That means the system of capitalism, they kick them out. So they make a revolution that works for everyone. As we know now, the system of education, it is the most standards that the United Nations recognize. The system of healthcare in Cuba, it has been working greatly because this is all this system, because the revolution is still going on. And there's a lot of Cuban people. They've been in different countries. Like recently, the Ebola, they were spread in Africa. And all those medics, doctors, they went there. Because the idea of revolution is to help the people. The revolution is to be more humanized. Today, the revolution of Hugo Chavez, now led by Nicolás Maduro, which is the same revolution of Cuba. So that one day, all the American people, we can share the values of serving people to another people. There is a lot of revolution movement in this continent. In Bolivia, Nicaragua, Ecuador. Has been 10 years of revolution under Rafael Correa. 10 years of revolution which has made some success, progressive for the people in economic. But the real revolution should be against the system of capitalism. In Ecuador hasn't done those things because the currency of Ecuador, which was Sucre, that was representing the Ecuadorian people, representing a culture, representing a nation. But now we see a dollar as a currency, national currency of Ecuador. The economy is run by United States, and dollar is the currency. So the revolution, what is that has to stand for? But there are some changes in the people's mind that one day I hope that all the citizens that were led by Correa, they will ask to the next president to change those ideas of Revolución Ciudadana, a citizen revolution going on in Ecuador. And we'll see if the next leader we can become more patriotism to the people, and he can brought back the national currency, which is Sucre. This should be the currency of the Ecuador under a revolutionary ideas, under a revolutionary movement, not a dollar. So revolution means that our culture, our history should be the first, the most important things to learn about it, not other culture, not other currency of different groups of colonial imperialism in our country. Today, there is a lot of protest going on in the United States against a president that has been elected by electoral college, not by the people. And one of the great leader in Senate, which is Bernie Sanders, has been brought this idea of revolution, has been talking about a real change in Wall Street, the economic change, has been talking about free education to all people, to all young people, and has been talking about a health care for everyone, which should be a right for everyone. And Bernie Sanders has supported the protest against the pipeline which is going on in North Dakota. I think the colonial president has signed executive orders to keep the pipeline. That Bernie Sanders, he's been with the people. He's been against all those destructive companies. As Bernie Sanders too, he has been in different stages around the world talking about climate change, which is threatening our society. If the climate change, we don't support those people, I think the next generation probably we're gonna find a world worse that we have today. If the capitalism still acting with their money, with their powerful military power to repress our people, to destroy our land. Bernie Sanders, he has a lot of support and young people that they call them as a millenniums of this country. And Bernie Sanders, he has the idea of what is being a human. As he says, he knows that his parents, his ancestor, came from Europe. I think it's Poland. And he has talked about it. He's concerned about it because he says that he's the third generation of people that were brought here and he was born here. So this nation is founded by people that they come from another part of continent or another part of this continent. So by these ideas, so that's the revolution. A revolution is the understanding that who we are and what can be done to make a better life for everyone, not just for the group of people that has been running the Wall Street, that has been running the global economy. So a revolution is underway. It's in different parts of the world, but we must come united. But as an American, we must build a real revolution, which is underway now. And all the United States citizens, and I hope they can really change their mind. Now is a lot of protests going on, but the focus should be against electoral college, not against executive orders, not against who was get elected. Should be a demand to change a constitution. To be the electoral college must be finished. So one day the people's voice, the people's voting in a democracy should be counted. But at this day, the people's voice has been thrown in the garbage. So that's why we're talking about ideas of revolution. And Bernie Sanders has brought these ideas, and we must stand for these values, for these ideas, if we want a better life for the future. So revolution means life, justice, equality. Revolution means against capitalism, against destruction of our motherland. With this idea, I think if we come united, if we create a dialogue, what it means, I think we're going to change the history of the United States. And we're going to change and make America strong by a revolutionary leaders. And to this video, if someone can replay or can send an email or can send a message what it means, I would like to hear from you too, that what you think about the revolution. And I know so many of young people probably they think revolution is a bad idea for our society. But if we see what it means, if we see through the history what is the revolution means, and I know means a lot to change against the capitalism. Thanks for subscribing me to this channel, and I hope to hear from you soon. And all message to the young people. Let's stand together with the revolutionary ideas for our next generation.